Zainul Abedin, December 29, 1914 to May 28, 1976, was a Bangladeshi painter born in Kishoregonj, East Bengal, British India, now Bangladesh. He became well known in 1944 through his series of paintings depicting some of the great famines in Bengal during its British colonial period. After the partition of Indian subcontinent, he moved to East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. In 1948, he helped to establish the Institute of Arts and Crafts, now Faculty of Fine Arts, at University of Dhaka. The Indian Express has described him as a legendary Bangladeshi painter. Like many of his contemporaries, his paintings on the Bengal famine of 1943 are viewed as his most characteristic works. His homeland honored him with given the title Shilpacharya, Bengali, great teacher of the arts for his artistic and visionary attributes. He was the pioneer of the modern art movement that took place in Bangladesh, and was rightly considered by Syed Manzoorul Islam as the founding father of Bangladeshi modern arts. Soon after Bangladesh earned the status of an independent republic, much of his childhood was spent near the scenic banks of the Brahmaputra River. The Brahmaputra would later appear in many of his paintings, and be a source of inspiration all throughout his career. Many of his works framed Brahmaputra, and a series of watercolors that Abedin did as his tribute to the river earned him the Governor's Gold Medal in an All-India exhibition in 1938. This was the first time when he came under spotlight, and this award gave Abedin the confidence to create his own visual style. In 1933, Abedin was admitted to the Government School of Art in Calcutta, now Government College of Art and Craft, Kolkata, India. Here for 5 years he learned British/European academic style, and later, he joined the faculty of the same school after his graduation. He was the first Muslim student to obtain first-class distinction from the school. He was dissatisfied with the Oriental style, and the limitations of European academic style, and this led him towards realism. Zainul Abedin. In 1948, with help from a few colleagues, he founded an art institute in Dhaka. Back then, there were no art institutes in the city. Soon after, it went on to be considered the best art institute in Pakistan during its early years. He worked in the Pakistani government for a while. He taught at the institute, and among his students was Pakistani artist Mansoor Rahi. He also taught Bangladeshi artists, such as Manarul Islam and Muhammad Kibriya. After completing his 2 years of training from Slade School of Fine Art in London, he began a new style, the Bengali style, where the main features were folk forms with their geometric shapes, sometimes semi-abstract representation, and the use of primary colors. But he lacked the sense of perspective. Later he realized the limitations of folk art, so he went back to the nature, rural life, and the daily struggles of man to make art that would be realistic, but modern in appearance. Zainul Abedin Gallery. Zainul Abedin. Liberation Movement. He was involved in the Bengali language movement of East Pakistan. Abedin was involved in the Bangladesh Liberation War movement. He was at the forefront of the cultural movement to re-establish the Bengali identity, marginalized by the Pakistan government. In 1969, Abedin painted a scroll using Chinese ink, watercolor, and wax named Nabana. This was to celebrate the ongoing non-cooperation movement. Post-independence era. In 1974 he received Honorary Doctor of Letters degree from the University of Delhi, India. In 1975, he founded the Folk Art Museum at Sonargaon in Narayanganj, and Zainul Abedin Sangrahashla, a gallery of his own works in Mymensingh. In 1982, 17 of the 70 pictures housed in Zainul Abedin Sangrahashla were stolen. Only 10 were later recovered. His famous painting study of a crow, ink wash, in the collection of Professor Ahmed Ali is listed in the book Arts in Pakistan by Jalaluddin Ahmed, 1952, including an exclusive monologue on him published by Fama, Karachi, along with his many famine series paintings of 1943. Zainul Abedin Gallery. Bangladesh Liberation War, 1971. Zainul Abedin. Sculpture based on the painting The Struggle. Zainul Abedin Sculpture, Sonargaon. He is one of the most famous painter of Bangladesh, and we should all remember his contribution for the country. Presented by Tariqul Islam. Student ID 201-153140.